So there's this guy, you might know him, his name is Ryan Abatte, and he's been inducted into the Medical Advertising Hall of Fame, and I need to find him so I can tell him.
Ryan Abatte, the audacious and bold visionary who hoped to revolutionize the pharmaceutical industry by producing one of the first DTC commercials ever? Yeah, we know him.
Ryan defied all odds by bringing New York-styled medical advertising to Orange County, joining forces with Allergan to create an agency with deep roots in strategic communication and marketing in general. His impact can still be felt on brands that are generating revenue and defining categories to this day.
Okay, so do you know where I can find him?
I heard he still hangs out at Pacific every once in a while, checking in on the agency.
That sounds like a great place to start. Thank you. So while I head over there, let's hear from some of the colleagues who knew Ryan Abatte the best.
Ryan created a business model that really wasn't derivative of anything. It's not an in-house shop. It's not a standalone agency. It's kind of both, but neither.
Well, as the founder and longtime president of Pacific Communications, Ryan has made a significant impact on our industry. In fact, with most of the pharmaceutical and healthcare manufacturers based outside of California and on the East Coast, I think he's been able to stretch that universe to include us.
I think this is clearly an interesting and unique model. I think that, competing for agency marketing spend like any other agency, and yet not being a budgeted item is really unique.
We've won awards over the years. We have 250 plus workforce, and we continue to recruit from the industry as well.
And oftentimes he did this swimming upstream. So you have to create the model, grease the model so that it can succeed, and then fight just like any other agency.
I really felt he exemplified California cool.
He gets this look on his face. We like to call it the screensaver. When he doesn't agree with you, or he's not quite tracking, or maybe he's just busy in his head, something happens. Screensaver.
Something he believed in. It's caring about each individual person and not just what they're going to contribute to the organization.
Ryan is truly a leader of the people.
And I think he really took pride in knowing everybody across the organization. It contributes to a culture and an environment which are critical to any agency, particularly on the West Coast when the world is so much smaller than the East Coast. We value, and he valued every single employee to a degree that I think is really uncommon.
He had an eye for talent. He had an eye for bringing out ambition in other people.
I think what was even more clear about than how much he cared about the agency was how much he loved his kids. That was his priority. He talked about, with such pride, things like Taco Tuesdays and Piper setting up that event in London, which I thought was pretty cool, to how much he loved skiing and dirt biking with his son Warren. That was his priority, and that projected throughout the entire organization.
Ryan's style?
Ryan's style, oh, I could comment on that.
He was kind of right out of GQ.
Ryan's attire, I wore this white shirt in honor of Ryan. He had a uniform, and I don't know if that uniform is style or if it's just he didn't want to make more decisions in order to get out of the door.
I think the first time Ryan ever had a custom-made suit made was back in 1990. I think it was a few years before I got there. And he was very proud of them. They actually had his name right here on the inside. And they were certain cut, double-breasted, poly blend. And he wore them throughout my entire career at Pacific Communications.
Every once in a while he would surprise us, and he did surprise us when he kind of unassumingly made a cover shot of a magazine and he just tried to pass it off as nothing. Well, as it turned out, we thought it was nothing until we looked at all of his social media outlets, and he happened to use the photo as his own profile picture.
His hair never moves. This is a tremendous honor. I mean, it really is. This doesn't happen often to many people, but it happened to Ryan, and you would never know it because he's not that kind of human.
I think when I called him to let him know that he was inducted into this year's Hall of Fame, his first word was, really? And I think, one, that represents the fact that he is humble, and I think that's true, but it also reflects to me, I know how much he cares about the healthcare industry, the communications industry, and how much respect he has for everybody else that have been inducted into the past.
Hi, how are you? I've got great news for Ryan Abatte. Have you seen him?
Ryan Abatte? He's long gone. Have you tried the beach?
Actually, yes, but I heard he misses the grind and he comes back to check on his Pacific family from time to time.
That's true. He's not here today. He's right where he belongs in a white dress shirt with perfect hair, surrounded by his friends and colleagues. He's being inducted into the Medical Advertising Hall of Fame.